Nice. All right, well, good morning. It's a little bit of a windy start. We got another about 6 a.m. start to beat the heat, but it's supposed to get really, really windy today. So I'm hoping I can get my miles and elevation in before that really picks up. Beautiful golden hour, sun's just poking over the hill, Tallac in the background. And there's sometimes beauty after a fire. All right, we got a couple laps in on Fountain Place Road just to get the elevation started. So far, we are hour 26 in, almost 2,600 feet of climbing. All right, so here's the neat feature with Strava again called flybys. And so what we did is we started again on the Fountain Place Road. So let's have a look at our recording. So come up Fountain Place Road. We ended up continuing on up Armstrong Connector towards the top of that, and then went all the way or almost all the way back down, started back up again, and my plan was to maybe do it a third time, but I kind of said I can't do it a third time. I just want to go somewhere more interesting. So we headed up Armstrong Pass. All right, guys, well, if you're still watching and are interested in donating for cancer research, I am doing a challenge to see how much I can climb on my bike. I had set the goal for 30,000 feet for the month of June. We've surpassed that, so I've upped that to 45,000 feet now. If you are interested, I'll put the link in the description below if you do want to donate to cancer research as I make my way towards an Everesting attempt. I had to get off the bike to film. It still doesn't look as pretty as it is in person, but it is beautiful. Still having some beautiful snow plants up higher. Making our way up to Friel Pass now. Had a good climb. Wow, look at the flowers coming out. Indian paintbrush is out. Struggle's real. Gotta get my hydration dialed in. All right, we're on the last push to the pass. And then we'll have, I don't know, 2,000 feet of descending. We've climbed just shy of 5,000 feet. Whew, it's windy. All right. Flipping the shock to descend mode. And we're at the pass. I'm not gonna hang out up here with the wind. Still some snow. Uh-oh. All right, now it's really time to descend. I've actually never ridden this downhill. I've ridden it up a couple times. nice. There's the lake. Nice. Long traverse with just a couple switchbacks to make it to that pass. There's the one switchback, and now we're up at Friel Pass right here. We headed all the way down towards Star Lake. Got to Star Lake, took in the views for a moment. Good old Star Lake. All right, moving on down the Star Lake Trail. All right, Star Lake Trail descent. waterfall crossing on Star Lake. One of the highlights of doing the Star Lake Trail, in my opinion. All right, that is the Star Lake Trail without snow on it this year. All right, just gotta shoot down this little single track to the fire road to cross over Coal Creek. All right, back to Coal Creek. Just taking a short little break, laying flat for a moment before we head up Monument at High Meadow and taking in the view. All right, made a last second judgment call to switch and just ride straight back up the Star Lake Trail just because of the winds. And I think possibly when you get to the top of Monument, you have quite a bit of open area, and I think it was right into the wind for that direction heading back towards Stars. So I'm just gonna ride up in the woods on the Star Lake Trail. Alright, we're on the last little climb. Alright guys, we are taking a little bit of a break up here at Star Lake, and I happened to run into another fellow Minnesotan, which was pretty cool. So we had a bit of a chat and hung out, and we'll probably ride again in the future, which will be cool. Anyway, rested up, fueled up, and time to head out and back up to Friel Pass. And here's my stats so far at Star Lake. 6,300 feet, 29 miles. All right, we're at Friel Pass again and about to head back down. Smooth as fast. That's all I'm going for. Conserve energy and let's get down this hill safely. Back up towards Friel Pass. It was a bit slow going. I was tired, and then came all the way down up to Armstrong, down Armstrong Pass, just because I had nothing left in the tank. Got back to Armstrong Connector, rode Armstrong Connector down to Corral, Lower Corral, and then made my way slowly back home. All right, here are the final stats. My legs are passed on 43 miles, 7,329 feet.